In the annals of Mexican history, the election of the country's first female president marks a watershed moment. Her victory is a loud testament to the evolving dynamics in Mexican society, where gender barriers are gradually being dismantled in favor of equality and inclusivity. Her ascent to the presidency was not just a personal triumph, but a collective victory for all women in Mexico. It symbolizes a new era of female empowerment and challenges the entrenched patriarchal norms that have long influenced Mexican politics. Throughout her campaign, she promised to be a president for all Mexicans, advocating for policies that would bridge the gap between the rich and the poor and address the persistent issues of corruption and violence. Her pledge to foster a government of transparency and inclusiveness resonated with millions, earning her a decisive victory at the polls. This was a clear message from the Mexican populace. They were ready for change. As she took the stage to deliver her victory speech, the air was thick with anticipation and hope. Her words, "Today, we start a new chapter in our country's history," were met with thunderous applause. Long before she entered the realm of presidential politics, Mexico's first female president was a formidable activist known for her relentless pursuit of social justice. Her early career was marked by a series of bold stands against inequalities and human rights abuses. Her transition from activism to politics was propelled by her desire to effect change on a larger scale. She began her political career as a local councilor, where she was instrumental in reforming local governance and promoting transparency. Her success at the local level catapulted her into national politics, where she served as a senator. During her tenure, she was known for her articulate debates and staunch advocacy for social reforms. As a woman in a predominantly male-dominated field, she encountered skepticism and resistance. However, her resilience and commitment to her ideals helped her overcome these hurdles. Her rise to the presidency was not just a personal achievement, but a breakthrough for women in politics, setting a precedent that would inspire countless others. Her ascent from grassroots activism to the highest office in the land is a narrative of inspiration and hope. Upon taking office, Mexico's first female president wasted no time in rolling out a series of progressive policies aimed at addressing the socio-economic disparities plaguing the nation. Her administration introduced significant reforms in healthcare, education, and labor laws, designed to uplift the living standards of the poorest Mexicans. One of her flagship initiatives was the Universal Healthcare Program, which aimed to provide free medical services to all citizens, irrespective of their financial status. In education, her government increased funding for public schools and launched scholarship programs for students from low-income families. Additionally, labor reforms were introduced to improve working conditions and increase wages, particularly in the manufacturing sector, which employs millions of Mexicans. She implemented tax reforms that targeted the wealthiest individuals and corporations, using the additional revenue to fund social welfare programs. Her approach to economic management was based on the principle of equitable growth, ensuring that the benefits of economic progress were shared by all segments of society. Opponents argued that her economic strategies were overly ambitious and could lead to fiscal deficits. However, her administration maintained that these reforms were essential for long-term social and economic stability. The path of reform is seldom smooth, and Mexico's first female president faced her fair share of challenges and controversies. Her administration's bold policies, while popular with the masses, drew criticism from various quarters. The business community in particular was skeptical of her economic strategies, fearing that increased taxes and stringent regulations could stifle investment and growth. Moreover, her stance on corruption brought her into direct conflict with powerful vested interests. Her government's aggressive anti-corruption drive led to high-profile arrests and investigations, which, while bolstering her image as a reformer, also made her political enemies. Additionally, her foreign policy decisions, especially her critiques of neoliberalism, and her alignment with other leftist governments in Latin America, were contentious. Despite these challenges, her resolve remained unshaken. She continued to advocate for her policies, emphasizing that the road to genuine reform was fraught with obstacles, but worth the struggle. As Mexico's first female president nears the end of her term, the discussion inevitably turns to her legacy and the future trajectory of the country under her leadership. Her tenure has been transformative, marked by significant social and economic reforms that have altered the fabric of Mexican society. The impact of her policies, from healthcare to education, is likely to be felt for generations, embedding a legacy of progress and inclusivity. Her leadership style, marked by resilience, inclusiveness, and a relentless pursuit of equality, has redefined political leadership in Mexico. She has not only led with policies, but with principle, inspiring a new generation of leaders who see public service as a means to effectuate real change. Her presidency will undoubtedly serve as a benchmark for future administrations, a reminder of what can be achieved with vision and determination. While her policies have laid a strong foundation, the ongoing challenge will be to sustain and build upon these initiatives. The political landscape remains fluid, and the gains made during her presidency must be safeguarded against the shifting dynamics of Mexican politics. Her legacy is not just in the policies she implemented, but in the hope and possibility she represented. If you like this video, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and share so we can keep you up to date on what's important in our tiny fraction of the universe. And as always, take care.